All right. Ready to go. All right, folks. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast. Let's get this party started. And welcome, folks. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast. I want to welcome everybody to the show today. It's midweek, and it's the day after 222. So there's a lot of people got married yesterday here in Vegas, and guess what? The party is just beginning. So it's 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 still pandemonium here in Las Vegas, and it's cold. It's like extremely cold. For those of you, it might be this first time you're joining us for the Living in Vegas podcast, but I go out riding pretty much every morning. And when I do, I'm the first person who notices how cold it actually is. It was 33 degrees this morning, so it's freezing. And which means with the wind chill, which was about 7 miles an hour, 8 miles an hour, whatever it was, it brought it down to, I don't know, 20 something degrees. So it was pretty cold this morning. I got out, got back, and I thought to myself, what am I thinking? Why am I riding? and and it's because I'm a junkie. I'm a junkie for riding my bike, so that's what I did. So welcome, folks. I really appreciate you being a part of the show today. We've got a full slate. I mean, we got a lot of stuff that's happening in the valley, and so let's get to it before we go too much further. Let's talk about Living in Vegas magazine. Yeah, so Living in Vegas magazine got some great news yesterday. I talked to our sales staff, our sales director, pretty much every day about what's going on with the magazine, who's buying, who's not. And if you were looking at getting on the front cover of Living in Vegas magazine, you probably shouldn't even look at it for the next almost next half a year, because we've already got people who already want to buy the front cover, and that's exciting. I mean, for me as a publisher, it's exciting. For us as a staff and for the Valley, that's even more exciting because it shows that people are really getting back into the swing of things here in Las Vegas. So, but you can still get in the magazine. Now, there's plenty of room in the magazine. So our premiere edition is out. It's on the shelves. If you would like to get your own copy of the magazine, it's still in digital form right now, but you can always get the digital edition of it. So you just go to our website at www.livininvegas.com. Just go down the page just a little bit, and you can actually download the digital edition of the magazine. Okay, just download it, and you can actually read it and thumb through it and see some real cool stuff that's in the magazine. Or you can be part of our mailing list, and I really encourage you to be a part of our mailing list. This is probably one of the easiest things for you to do. All you have to do is send me an email. Just send an email to info@livininvegas.com. It's info@livininvegas.com, and you can actually, we'll send you the link to the magazine pretty much every day. And I'm very excited about our magazine and our mailing list because some of the stuff, because I talk a lot. Some of you probably notice. Be nice. Some of you notice that I talk a lot. And so I'm not able to get in everything that we normally have on my list of things that I want to talk about. So what we do is we email that out. So we email it out every day, every morning. So right after the show, within an hour basically of the show, you'll get our newsletter. Also, let's say you don't make and get to see the entire show, the whole half an hour. It's up on YouTube, so you can go up on YouTube and look us up, Living in Vegas, and you can actually see the entire show. Or I'll have it on our website at livininvegas.com, and you can see the whole show. So don't worry about not seeing the entire show here on Facebook. It's someplace everywhere. So that's what we do. Also, we're having a mixer. Our the happy hour mixer is actually coming up, and it is going to be gosh, just in another week. So in another week, we'll actually have the happy hour mixer, and it's going to be over at. This time we're moving it around to Neon Desert Brewery, and it's at 914 South Main Street. That's in the DTLV or the 88B, whatever you want to call it. That's in downtown Las Vegas. The Happy Hour Business Networking Mixer, the Neon Desert Brewery, courtesy of our friends over at Beers with Friends, Livin in Vegas magazine, and of course Neon Desert Brewery. Also, I think we're going to actually have a food truck there. So if let's say you show up at the happy hour, you say you don't want to be there early because you've got to eat. Don't worry about it, folks. Go to we'll have a food truck there, and you can actually be there and check that out. So, pretty cool stuff. I think so, and we want to welcome everybody who's joining us on Facebook. We've got a couple of pages on Facebook that the show shows up on a daily basis. So I really encourage everybody to go to either our Facebook page or to our business page or our group page. You can always check out the show on a weekly basis. So we were telling you folks that it's actually pretty cold. Oh yeah, out at Lee Canyon, folks, it is pretty cold. We wanted to show you some of the video that we got from up at Lee Canyon. So let's see if we can actually see that. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah. So this is a view from up at Lee Canyon. This is actually we taped, so it's probably a little bit more snow right now up at Lee Canyon, but it is pretty snowy up there. I think there's going to be a little glitch here, but um, let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you can see the snowflakes coming down from Lee Canyon, and it is here. We were telling you that it's snowing here in Las Vegas. It is. It's snowing. I know, in the desert, right? Some parts of the valley are seeing snow already, especially if you're up in the Summerlin area, probably seeing a little bit of snow. If you're definitely in um, Lee Canyon, you're going to see snow. If you're in Pahrump, there's definitely snow up there, or the I-60 going through the loop, the hump going the hump goes over the mountain range to get to Pahrump. You're definitely seeing snow up there, so just be careful. As you're getting out there, there's no real reason for you to, be racing all over the place because there's snow everywhere in the valley. And I know because when I went out riding this morning, like I said, it was very, very, very cold. So there is a bird sanctuary, folks. I think this is actually probably one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time. Let's see if we can bring up this video. There we go. All right. So in Henderson, there's actually a bird preserve up in Henderson. And we call this the Hidden Gem. It's the Henderson Bird Viewing Preserve. Um, and many people have no idea that this thing even exists. So we wanted to talk a little bit about this because we talk about the people, the places, the trends, all that kind of stuff that's going on in Vegas. It's tucked away in an industrial area off Galleria Drive near the Chimera Golf Course. The road into it may be a little deceiving because you pass some scrap semi-trailers, but signs let newcomers know they're in the right place. So if you are a bird watcher, you're somebody who's really into watching birds, and this is your thing. There's so many cool things here in Vegas, folks. I think sometimes we forget that of all of the cool stuff that's here, especially on the east side of the valley. There's water, a lot of water actually, because everything kind of runs downhill. The Vegas Wash area. So in that same area, there's actually a bird preserve that's down there. It's the Henderson Bird Viewing Preserve. And there's people who say they go out there pretty much every day to see all kinds of ducks and all kinds of storks, that kind of stuff. So we'll leave a link to this so you can actually find this cool place. Preserve is on 80 acres, has 9 ponds and around 5 miles of trails. And said there's events at the preserve that are great for the entire family. There's field trips. You can take story walks, educational classes, that kind of stuff for the kids. Movie nights, a jazz series, which I love jazz. So it's very cool. Let me ask you a question. We've got people who are watching us on Facebook and just asking, hey, if you have ever been out to the bird preserve, let us know. Give us some of your, give us some of your feedback on what you think it is like out at the bird preserve, because, I think people really kind of underestimate the amount of cool stuff that's going on in Las Vegas. Wow. In other news, folks, there's a small child that bringing now this story actually was about 2 days ago, but I really felt that, and it's actually not even here in Vegas, but 2 days ago on the 21st, it was Down syndrome. So there's actually a name for it. Oh, I'm going to screw up the name of it. Okay. It was World Down Syndrome Day. And this young boy right here, Brody Crine, he's been hard at work getting bath bombs packaged up to sell. And what they do is raise money to bring awareness for Down Syndrome Day. And so we want to definitely leave a link to this one. The money is for Designer Jeans, a group that provides support for families and people with Down syndrome. And so we definitely have people here in the Valley who have Down syndrome. We have people who have all kinds of ailments here. And so we felt like as a part of what we do here at Livin in Vegas, that we want to support as many organizations as we can. As a matter of fact, we are probably going to adopt a charity that so we can do something tangible here at the grassroots level for people who are not as fortunate as we are. We really are very fortunate people, so we want to make sure that we do that. So congratulations, Cody, that you were able to, or excuse me, Brody, that you were able to do some cool stuff for World Down Syndrome Day. So thanks a lot. There was a story that we spoke about, I don't know, yesterday, day before yesterday. We've been doing for the last couple of days. Remember, there was a missing girl in Henderson. Her name was Ashlyn Shera, and she was reported safely recovered now, folks. Remember the story here, folks, that Ashley was out with her mom. They were hanging out, and then she said, hey, Mom, I want to go out and go riding on my skateboard. And what happened is her mom said all of a sudden, it was like 5 minutes later, Ashlyn was gone. And so, or excuse me, it was her grandma. And she said that she was gone. And that she's been gone for a couple of days now. She's been safely found. A suspect has been taken into custody. And so we'll find out in the next couple of days how this young girl is doing. There's still another young boy that's been missing. His name is Elias, and so he's still gone. We reported on him yesterday. So keep those kids in your thoughts and your minds, folks, because there's no reason to have these kids hurt and stuff like that. Let's stay on our kids and our teens. This is Emma. And Emma, if you remember, Emma Berkey had a reaction to the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccination, and she basically had a severe reaction, has gone through all kinds of operations and all kinds of things. I think she had 4 strokes. Well, Emma is walking now, folks. This is fantastic. This is great news that Emma, and we've been following Emma for quite some time now, after 5 surgeries in total, including 3 brain surgeries and the use of a feeding tube and breathing tubes, all the other stuff that's happening. And we're looking for the video now of Emma as she was actually taking her first steps and showing off that, hey, guess what? I'm on the mend. She's all of 19 years of age. Our hearts and prayers go out to Emma because she's gone through a whole lot of stuff, and it's really as a result of a reaction to the Johnson and Johnson COVID vaccine. I personally had a reaction to the Moderna vaccine, and it just sometimes it just happens to certain people, and I don't think it should dissuade anybody from getting vaccines, because vaccines, we've been using them for generations. But certain people react certain ways, and Emma, in her case, definitely had a huge reaction, and gosh, that's kind of crazy, isn't it? There was a story about a child care. It's called Southern Nevada Strong, or Nevada Strong Start Child Care Services Center in Las Vegas. It's a long one. Nevada Strong Start Child Care Services Center in Las Vegas. And this is a great story where they're trying to create monies that that they're getting the monies from the COVID response money, so the recovery pact money. They're going to set aside monies to help start childcare centers, daycare centers, to get parents back to work. So this money, and it's a lot of money. I mean, it's a lot of money. This money will, so they're starting here in Las Vegas, then they'll be doing up in Reno. What they're going to do is they're going to begin to give you money if you want to start a childcare center. Okay, they'll provide money for your training, money for the students. They'll fill it out for you, the whole shebang. So we'll leave a link for this, because this is huge. Once again, if you would like to start a child care center, there are monies available through the Recovery Act. So the act is pumping money more to Nevada through child care stabilization grants and the Child Care and Development Block Grant Program. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. From the American Recovery Act, the COVID relief bill, which provided nearly $2 million for facilities. So they're going to pump a lot of money in the next couple of months in an effort to get people back to work. And it's basically to free up parents who want to go back to work, but they still have kids that are they're still out right now. One of my favorite stories here today, folks, and like I said, we got a lot of stuff going on today. The Hofbrauhaus. The Hofbrauhaus, Las Vegas, celebrating St. Patrick's Day with a special Irish-German fused menu. The menu includes their spinach soup garnished with croutons called Spinach mit Bratwurstfeldchen. Now, many of you don't know this, okay? I actually spoke German when I was a little kid. When I was a very, so when I see words that are in German, I go, oh my gosh, I know what that word is. Even though I was a very small child when I did it, but I digress. Anyways, so my problem is I don't know when St. Patrick's Day is. And it's coming up pretty quick. I know it is. So somebody remind me. If you're on our Facebook page or you're on one of our sites, remind me when. I'll look it up right now. When is St. Patrick's Day? Okay. When is St. Patrick's Day 2022? Okay, it's March 17th. So we've got another couple of weeks. Okay, so very cool. So March 17th is St. Patrick's Day. And so right now they're taking reservations over at the Hofbrauhaus. So if you want to, and we'll leave all the links to this, folks. We'll leave all the links to all of our stories on our Facebook page. Definitely get them if you get on our mailing list. Okay, if you get on our mailing list, we'll send it right out to you. Very easy to get on our mailing list. Just send me your information at info@livininvegas.com. It's info@livininvegas.com, and we'll get you that information. As a matter of fact, let me remind you that we're having a mixer, and our mixer is coming up March 3rd. I didn't even tell you the date on it. So March 3rd, we're having our business networking mixer called The Happy Hour. It's at Neon Desert Brewery. It's at 914 South Main Street, Las Vegas, Nevada. It's in the DTLV. It's in downtown Las Vegas. And we're going to have a great time, folks. Starts about 5:30 to 7 o'clock. I'm going to put, I think I'll update this flyer here a little bit so I'll put a little more information on it. But really fun time that we're going to have there. As a matter of fact, we're going to have a food truck. Let me know how, and this helps us if you register for the event, which we're going to leave a link below us here in the show notes, so you can actually register for this event, because we need to know how many people are actually going to be at the event. Okay, it's for the food truck, it's for the staffing, that whole thing. So you definitely want to get there. We're going to run out of time, and I want to make sure I get to these stories. Okay, let's go. We're going to move forward just a little bit. So there's a story about the Oakland A's. Currently, the Oakland A's, and they won't be very long. They won't be. So the Oakland A's, folks, this is a really important story. We've been talking about this a long, long time. So the Oakland A's have exchanged term sheets on at least 4 plots of land in southern Nevada where a possible $1 billion Major League Baseball park could be built. A team representative confirmed the number, noted the A's are in active negotiations with landowners of all 4 sites. What the heck does this mean? Dear Lord, we're going to get the Oakland A's. Now this is an interesting thing about it, folks. We've been talking about this and talking about this. Nobody else has really been talking about this as much as we have. It's because we're living in Vegas, but we've been talking about the A's coming to Las Vegas for quite a long time now. We've heard from reliable sources that the deal is done. They're coming here. It's a done deal. That a lot of this stuff is just kind of posturing with Oakland, whether or not they're going to be able to do their part to entice them to stay there. But the deal has been done. We've already knew that they were looking at possibly the Tropicana. That's probably not going to happen. It doesn't make sense. But there are at least 4 other sites that they're looking at right now that they're looking at building a $1 billion Major League stadium. So, you like baseball? It's here, baby! It's here! Is that exciting or what? Let's talk about UNLV. Our boys at UNLV are doing such a great job. I love UNLV. Let's watch a little of that game. So, UNLV played last night. They played over against Nevada. And we spanked them, folks. 62-54. Bryce Hamilton scored 27 points in a shellacking. And once again, folks, our UNLV boys are just doing such a great job. We want to thank everybody who's been sticking by the Rebels and just watching them. We once again are very high on the Raiders. We're high on the Las Vegas Aces and the UNLV running Rebels. Whether it's the men or the women, we don't care. It's UNLV. We love them, and they're doing a fantastic job. Matter of fact, they are now. I'll check the standings to be sure, but I know right now that the Rebels are moving up in the standings in our league. We're just great. So the Rebels defeated Nevada 69-58 February 1st. So now to follow it up on the 22nd to beat them again. It's just fantastic. It's phenomenal. I love it. I love it. If we beat them every time, I care less. I think it's great. So many of you, I didn't get the picture up. Oh, great. I didn't. Okay. Do I have time? I have time. Okay, I'm going to put a picture up here, folks. You won't be able to see this in the background, but I want you to see this couple. There was a couple that just got married, and they were the 5 millionth couple to be married in Las Vegas, and nobody got to see who they are. And so I wanted you to see who they are. Let's see if I can find their picture. I did download it, and now I can't find it. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking for it because I did have it here. There they are. Okay, I'll upload their picture here, folks. Hopefully you can see that. That's the lovely couple right there, folks. And so this couple was actually the couple who were issued the 5 millionth marriage license here in Clark County since its founding in 1909. This is the couple right here. That's Mayra Ramirez, 40, and Luis Patoya, 39, out of Patterson, California. And once again, we read all the stuff that they got. They got all kinds of stuff, but nobody really got to see their face. So this couple right here is the couple who got married. They were the 5 millionth wedding marriage license certificate here in Clark County since our founding in 1909. Thank you so much. That was actually very nice. Really appreciated that. I was looking for those guys for quite a long time, and I think that that they should be acknowledged, shouldn't they? Okay, we'll do one other story. And so many of you know that there's a couple. Well, which one do we want to do? Oh, let's stay on the wedding thing. Okay, so there was a couple that they actually were heart transplants. So yesterday, of course, we know that there was a lot of buzz about 222 or 222, 22, and a lot of people got married here in the Valley. This couple right here, Sheila Daly, James Dunbar, they met several years ago while on a walking trail in their hometown of Rochester, Minnesota. And they say it was love at first sight, and their bond grew stronger as they both faced new challenges together, including 2 heart transplants. The couple had the same surgeon. Well, guess what they did? Yeah, they got married here in Las Vegas. And so it was kind of a neat thing to see that, we've got these heart transplant recipients. Both of them got 2 new hearts. And then they got married on 2/22/22 here in Las Vegas. It's pretty special. I know. So much more stuff, folks. So anyways, we're going to be doing some changes starting next week, folks, with the show. So definitely be on the lookout for that. We really want you to be aware before we do all this other stuff that we are going to be doing some changes to the show starting next week, and we want you to be aware of that. Once again, we want to remind you about the happy hour, which is happening March 3rd, which is next Thursday, not tomorrow, but next Thursday. It'll be happening, and once again, it will be over at the Neon Desert Brewing Company, and it'll be starting about 5:30 to about 7 o'clock. If you would like to be, if you want information, leave it in our show notes. Send me an email at info@livininvegas.com. That's info@livininvegas.com, and we will definitely get that information to you, folks. It's really important that you keep up to date with stuff. Also, if you've got an event that you want everybody to know about, either leave it on our Facebook page, which is great, or just send me an email. Send me an email at info@livininvegas.com. That's info@livin, Livin, invegas.com. And we will put that out for you. We'll blast it out and tell everybody all about what you're doing. Okay? Anyways, this is it, folks. Tomorrow we'll be back here again at 8:30 in the morning till about 8:30 to 9 for Livin in Vegas podcast. We want to thank you all for being a part of the show. I'm Sherman Ray, the publisher of Livin in Vegas. Thank you, folks, for being part of the show. We'll see you again tomorrow for another edition of the Livin in Vegas podcast, where we'll talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that may keep you living in Vegas. We'll see you tomorrow.